Well, as you see, I've cut all the branches off of this fallen tree, plus a bunch of branches that fell off of that tree in several storms. One's still dangling. I'm going to ignite this, and this is going to be the biggest bonfire you've ever seen. I've been trying to get this done for months. The first tree limb that fell off of this tree due to a storm was last June 2019. I've had them piled up since then, and the weather has not been formidable to burn it. Flames are getting quite high, but it's controllable. I've already wet down the ground surrounding branches and other foliage around the perimeter of the pile prior to igniting all this, so I'm not concerned about it catching on fire, but I'm prepared in case it does. I got my hose ready to go, and it's probably going to burn down before we even get to that point. So right now the flames are about 25-30 feet in the air. This pile is about 12 feet high to begin with, and fortunately the wind is blowing in the right direction. I can record this without being burnt to a crisp. That would be a real tragedy. I'm so glad that I finally got around to being able to do this. Now I'm standing right now about 20 or 30 feet from this. I can feel the heat coming off of that fire. my neighbor's ruining my video with a lawnmower noise. All in a day's work. I got about 8 or 10 hours cutting, piling to get that pile that high. I was pretty exhausted afterwards. I had to do it in stages. I've had 3 limbs break off, and now this tree falling. I'm still gonna have to cut this loose in pieces and cut it and pile it up. You can see how high those flames are going. That's at least 40 feet. You can see how the branches up there are being moved by the heat. Oh boy, we got a situation here. I had to break away for a moment, water down the foliage in the neighboring property because the wind was blowing the flames into the other trees. I had to wet it down with the hose. It only took a couple minutes. And right now the flame is not being blown, but it's still pretty radical. But it's starting to die down a little bit. I'm glad about that because I really don't feel like messing around with the garden hose anymore. The hose clamp that holds the spray nozzle fitting on, male adapter. Yeah, it popped off the end of the hose just after I got the fire trimmed down. But hopefully I won't need it again. It's going to burn for quite a while. I'm going to put a pause on here, come back later. Well, as you can see, it's died down quite a bit. It's still going real strong. I've got a lot of branches they got to burn. It's going to go for a long time. Fortunately, the external branches around there going over the fire are not caught. Except for that one right up there. This tree, this peach tree, I'm sorry, not peach tree, pecan tree. And I say pecan because I come from up north, not pecan, like they say down here in the south. This pecan tree fell over from that Hurricane Sally that came through. Slow blow Sally. Boy, it took forever for that thing to get out of here. And you can see how far the branches fell over to my neighbor's property. There were several branches like that laying on the roof of his car or truck and also on his camper. Fortunately, there wasn't any damage done to either. That's one hell of a fire. I just recently had my roof redone with new shingles. One of the limbs that snapped off of that tree, you can see it there, all that bare wood, about 2 or 3 feet off of that wide 12-inch diameter limb, snapped and fell on top of the shed. $300 shed that I put in about 15 years ago. It costs $600 now to buy a new one. I'm real happy about that, as you can tell. Like I was saying, I had the roof redone, and while the guys were here, I had to help me get that limb off of that shed. Took 2 or 3 guys to get it off. It was that heavy. The thing was 8 feet long, 12 inches in diameter. I'm sure it weighed a good 200 or 300 pounds.